Diablo 4 might very well be one of the top-selling Blizzard games of the year. I'm a bit worried about the future of the game Warframe, and apparently Apple is targeting the gaming market. Okay, so let's talk about Diablo 4. I don't have too much to say about Diablo 4, except for it's about time, okay? It's about time in the sense that it's about time we just get a pure something we wanted from Blizzard. Blizzard had actually done a few misses throughout the year so far, and even somewhat last year. Diablo 4 was basically aiming to be a slam dunk for them, and it's it looks like it might very well be a slam dunk. Now, Diablo, they did try something with Diablo Immortal, with mobile. It was hit or miss, honestly, mostly miss, but some people enjoyed it. Diablo 4, however, is arguably going to be better because not only is it not a mobile game, but also the fact that it is presumably more canon than Diablo Immortal is, but I could be wrong about that. Diablo Immortal could be canon to the Diablo universe. I am not a lore expert, if I'm being perfectly honest about that. Now, I do want to take some time to talk about Warframe. The game Warframe, particularly its future that I'm a bit uncertain about. I know the Divide Paradox just released, okay? And that's actually why the future is somewhat uncertain to me. So, as of recording this, Divide Paradox had just released not too long ago. It's been about a month or so now, so perfectly good window to get all the feel and everything of the update. And I find the update to be good, but I don't know how much sustainability it has, or rather replayability per se. I say per se because there are certain things in it, such as the grind to get incarnate adapters, which for those of you guys that don't know are evolving weapons for other weapons. The ability to get them inside of the circuit, which is a part of the Divide Paradox. That's good, but there's only a set number of them right now, so as soon as all of them are gotten, the Divide Paradox doesn't really get played much till a new update releasing more. And even then, those incarnate things are more of a in-game player type thing, only because of the fact that you have to have, as of right now, the steel path unlocked in order to even get them. And that means you'll have to have completed the whole star chart in its entirety. So that's something that's why I don't think it's going to be sustainable forever. Now, there is something which may be a little more sustainable, which is the fact that there's going to be an update soon that does release the new Warframe Calero, and in order to get his parts, you'll have to do a mini fight involving him. in the very paradox. You'll fight him as the mini boss, and presumably that all you'll do, you'll beat him, you'll get his part to drop at the end of the run. So that could be a bit interesting there. That does give some replayability. Basically a refresh to the Warframe system, if you will. Which what I mean by that is the fact that initially in Warframe, how you got frames were to beat bosses. That's how you got them to drop randomly. So you had to farm the bosses till you got the right frame and whatnot to drop. So that could be the case yet again. That look like it will be the case rather again, which is interesting. It does add some more sustainability to the divide paradox. But with all that said, I'm still a bit worried because technically you could argue that the necromex from the, Heart of Deimos update with their open world, the Cambodian Drift, necromex were a thing there that you farmed for. But I personally don't visit the Cambodian Drift on Deimos a lot, which is Deimos' open world, because there's really not much of a reason to. I visit Fortuna even less, the old Valas on Fortuna, that Fortuna's open world. And then the Plains of Eidolon on Cetus, which I guess I visit the most, but that's only because I unlocked the horse from the Divide Paradox, and Plains of Eidolon is currently, I think, the most fun open world to use the horse in, so that's what I do sometimes. Don't judge me, but yeah, that kind of makes me feel like the Divide Paradox might not be the thing that holds Warframe together. But with that said, the Divide Paradox is a good way for them to test stuff for either different games or things that the community wants, like Stalker mode. Like, you want to play as the Stalker? Currently, the Divide Paradox is the only way to play as the Stalker. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. That might be something that sets it apart, or rather makes it so people come back to the Divide Paradox. I don't know. Actually, one of my friends said something pretty funny to me the other day. He said, okay, so I asked him if he wanted to play the Divide Paradox with me. He would have to go through the quest solo, but then we could do some of the different Divide Paradox modes together. His response was that Warframe mode where you play with no Warframe, no thanks. So I actually found that a little humorous because I actually can't argue that, because it is indeed the Warframe game mode where you don't play with Warframes. So, I mean, the circuit, but regular Divide Paradox, there's no circuit, and you don't get access to transference till later on, and even that just for a little bit, which actually does bring me to the point that you can make all the updates or rather, Digital Extremes can make all the updates to the device paradox they want. But there will be that group of people, which seem to be growing quite a bit actually, that don't really care for operator mode / drifter mode stuff. So they kind of don't really care for the device paradox, which is interesting because a lot of them, the reason I keep saying it's growing, because a lot of people I've seen have come back to Warframe for the device paradox, in the sense that they've come back to see what all the fuss is about and everything, because, big splash with advertising, whatnot. So it made people interested. So people came back that were gone. They come back. Here I am talking about incarnate adapters. They're like, what's that? I have my horse on, and they are like, wait, what is that even that you're riding? And I say, oh, it's from the device paradox. It's the game mode where you play as the drifter. They are like, oh, the drifter, is that like the operator? And then I say, yeah, pretty much. And then they're like, I don't think I'm really interested. So that's one of the things. And then they proceed to play catch up, but not going to the device paradox, collecting the weapons and frames that they have missed throughout. So yeah, that's just my opinion on that. Now, we have to talk about Apple, okay? Apple seems like they are coming for the gaming market, or at the very least, they are trying to get in on the gaming market. They have gave us information at their event that they are actively working with software that will actively working, with software, or rather on implementing software, and presumably hardware as well, that will make it so games will run natively and run well natively on the their devices, with the M1 chip and M2 chip and M2 Ultra and whatnot. So we might see a future where actual gaming, like PC games gaming, are available on Mac, and not only something like Apple Arcade and some, games that run on iOS, so they're able to run on Mac technically. This opens it up to potentially native games on the Mac entirely, which is interesting. Now, I'll be honest, when I first heard the news, I didn't know what to think of it, because I personally have a PC that I play games on and stuff, along with my consoles, and then my Mac is for video editing exclusively. Anything I need captured footage-wise, I capture from my PC. So that's what I have personally as a setup. But the more I thought about it, not everyone had that kind of setup. Plus, if I did end up taking a MacBook with me somewhere, I could literally do the best of both worlds. I could maybe play a little bit of a game on the go, and also edit videos and whatnot on the go as well. So that could be very interesting. I We'll be interested to see if they can get everything running and well, or if it would just be limited to Apple Arcade type games. Don't get me wrong, Apple Arcade is very cool, actually. There are some games I grew up playing on Apple Arcade, so those of you guys that know me have known that I've been in a constant struggle as to whether I'm going to renew Apple Arcade or not, because there's just an appeal of playing games from when I was younger or when I played the games all the time. I don't have to worry about microtransactions. I could just play and enjoy the game. There is something very appealing about that. But you gotta admit, Apple Arcade games are not very computer intensive. So Macs basically have no problem running them at all. So, yeah, I'll be interested in. Actually, a good example is Death Stranding was announced for Mac. Death Stranding Director's Cut was announced for Mac, so I'll be interested to see how that runs, if it's going to be brilliant, if it's going to be like, oh, this is an example why the Mac shouldn't try to get into the PC gaming space. That will be interesting. That could actually open things up for the future, because it's always been, oh, a lot of people know that if you want to get like major editing and work done, you typically go to Mac. If you want to do extreme gaming, you go to PC. That's the mentality for a lot of people. Well, what if it eventually came to you can do either one on either one equally, so that no big one way or another. So I'd be interested to see the future of that. Yeah, I definitely would.